Drivers, start your engines. I'm Angela Roach, and this is Behind the Wheel, powered by HireMaster. Driver recruiting has historically battled against the narrative that driving a truck is not a first-choice career. Many drivers fall into driving after trying other jobs, which gives it less appeal, appearing more as a last resort option for work. Leah Schaefer, president and CEO of the National Transportation Institute, noted that the Women in Trucking Association is taking a different approach. Quote, going into communities that are underserved, where there are women that don't have other job opportunities or have had fewer job opportunities, to consider trucking earlier rather than later after kids are raised, where we've typically seen them enter the industry, end quote. With women making up less than 10% of professional drivers, there are a lot of opportunities for women to advance within the trucking industry. And as carriers expand their search for qualified drivers into communities of women and minorities, now would be a good time to see what driving opportunities are available by visiting HireMaster.com. Staying fit out on the road is critical to performing well behind the wheel. Let's go out to Candace Rivers for the Fitz Possible tip of the day.
Hey y'all, it's Candace here for our Fitz Possible Trucking Wellness tip of the week. Today I want to talk about tracking it so that you can lose it. MyFitnessPal is an app that I absolutely love that will help you track what you're eating so that you can reach the goal that you have set. I love it because you can put in where you are and where you're going, and it's going to give you a way of achieving that in a healthy, reasonable time. You're not going to have to starve yourself. You're not going to have to wonder how you're going to do it. They're going to help coach you through that. So if you haven't already downloaded the MyFitnessPal, go do it today. Put in where you are and put in where you're going, and start today watching what you're eating, keeping a track of what you're doing, moving a little bit more and watching what you're eating while you do. And you're going to reach those goals and maintain them once you do. Remember, I love you. You matter. Go in the day.
Thanks, Candace. You can find more great videos from Candace at Fitz Possible Trucking on TikTok. In response to the Russia-Ukraine conflict, the European Union sanctioned exports and banned imports of crude oil by sea. These sanctions allowed China to take the lead in crude oil production, and China is selling much of this increased production to India. China is now the only market exporting crude oil, and India is the largest purchaser of barrels on its western shores. 860,000 barrels of crude were loaded onto tankers each day leading up to the sanctions. And that amount has been cut by 75% to only 210,000 barrels a day. According to Bloomberg, quote, a total of 34 tankers loaded 24.9 million barrels from the country's export terminals, end quote. This works out to be 3.55 million barrels a day, which is down by 10% just since the beginning of June. Crude oil shipments are working around Russia in order to produce and distribute oil, which increased the flow of shipments to Asia that are still on the rise. In other news, more than a dozen states have reached over $5 a gallon for fuel as the summer travel season starts, and stockpiles of fuel are still restricted. The stockpiles across the country fell to 219 million barrels, which is the lowest it has been since 2015. Many of the western states, such as Washington, Oregon, California, Nevada, and Arizona, are averaging above $5 a gallon. And in some areas in California, the price for fuel is well above $6 a gallon. In other states, such as Maine, Florida, Illinois, and Indiana, fuel prices are on the rise, hovering just below $5 a gallon. Progressing into summer with shrinking stockpiles, prices will continue to soar. Diesel has also hit an all-time high of $5.70 a gallon and is projected to continue to increase at the same rate as unleaded fuel because of more demand and not enough reserve. On this week's Weather Watch, we have scattered showers across the U.S. into the central Great Lakes as well as the upper Mississippi Valley. Heading into the summer months, heat advisories are popping up across much of the Midwest and southern states, with excessive heat warnings in the upper and central Mississippi Valley, where heat indexes will reach as high as 115 degrees. Temperatures will reach triple digits with humidity making it feel 10 to 15 degrees warmer. And this trend plans to stick around for several weeks. In the Northwest, in parts of Washington, Oregon, and Northern California, cooler temperatures remain as it transitions to the drier summer months. And that's going to do it for Behind the Wheel. I'm Angela Roach. Be sure to follow or subscribe to catch each episode and leave us a like and a comment. We'll see you next time on Behind the Wheel, powered by HireMaster.